Hey friends, it's your realtor, and I'm here with our quick real estate market update for the Sacramento area. Today is July 25th, 2024, and there are huge changes going on in the real estate industry, which are going to affect the real estate market. If you have not heard, you have not seen the headlines in the last 6 months or a year or so, the Department of Justice sued the National Association of Realtors, NAR. And it was brought a kind of a class action lawsuit brought about. They were accused of price fixing, colluding, that sort of stuff. Apparently, these people in class action sold homes, and they said we didn't know we were paying the buyer's agent, or we didn't know we had to pay the buyer's agent, or we didn't know commissions were negotiable, something along those lines. And so the Department of Justice and the National Association of Realtors have settled, and there are going to be two major changes coming along that will affect you if you're planning on buying a house or selling a house anytime ever in the future. And I think both of these changes are, well, one's okay, the others I think pretty stupid. So the big thing right now, if you're going to be looking at buying a house, you will have to sign a buyer's representation agreement with a realtor. That's the new rule. So if even to just look at a house, not an open house, open houses are not included, but if you call up an agent and say, hey, I saw this house on 123 Main Street, I'd like you to show it to me, they will have to have you sign a buyer's representation agreement. Now, typically in the past, when we signed a buyer representation agreement, it was good for 90 days or 60 days or 6 months, something like that. So that'd be a little weird if you just met an agent at the front door of the house and he makes you sign a 6-month agreement. So we're going to see how this shakes out. I mean, potentially we could have an agreement that's just good for a day or a week or a month or something like that. But so it's going to be a bit odd going forward there. So the other big thing that's in that buyer representation agreement is you will have to agree to pay your buyer's agent commission. Previously, all commissions, for the most part, were paid by the seller. A listing agent would sign an agreement with a seller for a bulk commission, and then that commission was split between both agents, the buyer and seller agent. So a buyer didn't have to worry about their agent getting paid. It wasn't even getting paid. It wasn't even in their mind or something they considered or thought about, because they knew they were just going to get paid from the other agent through the cooperation of the MLS that we belong to. Nowadays, that will be changing. So sellers can still pay a commission. A listing agent can still pay a commission to the buyer's agent, depending on the amount. So what happens is, if you're a representation agreement with your buyer's agent says that you're going to pay them 2%, and the seller's offering a 2% credit, great, the buyer's agent's covered. But if you sign an agreement for 2% and the seller's only offering 1%, then you're on the hook to pay that other 1% to your buyer's agent. This was not a thing, in the past. Sometimes it popped up here or there, but pretty rarely. So just be aware for that. So what I'm telling my clients is, we're going to sign this agreement with and in this agreement it says you're going to pay me X amount, but I'm going to fight tooth and nail to make sure to get that is covered by the other agent or the seller, the way it's been done for the last 3, 4, 5 decades. That's how we're going to try and operate still, get that covered so it doesn't come out of your pocket. Because if you think about it, most home buyers are tight on cash. They're already going to put a lot of money down for a down payment, closing costs. They're going to want to spend money on new stuff for the house, that sort of stuff. A lot of people don't have an extra $10,000 they can throw at commissions, that sort of thing. So that's what we're hoping on. And I tell my clients too, we can talk about this on every house that you see. You won't be blindsided by this. If you fall in love with a house and they're not offering commission, we'll talk about that. We don't want you losing a house over commission. So the other big change, in the name of transparency, buyer agent commissions are no longer going to be public knowledge. I don't know how those two go together, but that's what they're saying. To be more transparent, commissions are not going to be listed. Right now, if you go on Zillow or Realtor.com, you can see buyer agent commissions. It's public knowledge. It's out there. It's been there for the last 5-6 years. So they are removing that. Buyer agent commissions will not be in the MLS, which is how we do it now. We put an MLS, and that guarantees another member of the MLS, they get paid that commission if they sell that house. So they won't be in the MLS. They won't be on any public websites like Realtor.com or Zillow or anything like that. So that is what it is. My opinion, I don't love most of this. I think the representation agreements are pretty good, to have that solidified. But, it's just, in my opinion, they are going to make things more complicated for everybody and probably more expensive and probably maybe more litigious as well. So this is going to take a while to shake out. That's what pretty much everyone kind of agrees, because we're going to try and have to figure out how are we going to navigate these new rules and kind of come up with sort of I don't want to say a standard way of doing things, but the way most agents are going to move within these new rules. So we don't know. I'm telling a lot of my sellers, hey, let's still offer a buyer agent commission. We can still pay them. I think that's a really good idea because we want that buyer to have a good agent. If they don't have a good agent, or they have to pay their agent out of pocket, they might not be able to buy your house. We want good parties, smart people on all sides of the transaction. And that's going to be really helpful. So again, we'll see how this shakes out. Please let me know if you have questions about this at all. But like I said, the next 6 months or a year will be kind of interesting to see how this all goes. So what's going on in the Sacramento real estate market? It's been weird lately. Last 3-4 weeks have been really slow. The market always slows down in the summer. That's just seasonal slowdown. People go on vacation, the kids are out of school, people are going to the lake, whatever. They're not thinking about buying a house that much. It slows down a little bit, a couple percent. So let me actually show you here just a quick graph. So this is Sacramento County. So you can see here the blue line is new listings. This is pending sales, and green are sold. So everything has been trending down recently, and it's been kind of crickets out there. I've had a couple open houses recently where nobody showed up, or I had 1 or 2 people show up when I was expecting, a good turnout. So we don't know what's going on. It could be seasonal. It could be the craziness in America right now. They're protesting in front of the Capitol, the assassination attempt, the presidential candidates just swapped out, and just insanity is going on too. And my wife had a really good point too. She's like, Pete, it's 110 degrees out. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Maybe people don't want to go look at homes when it's 110 degrees. So it could be all of that. So usually the market picks up again in the fall. And the sales tick back up. People get more back. They get out of summer vacation mode, get back into more kind of normal mode too. So if you're thinking about buying a house, now is actually a good time. While things are slower, homes are sitting on the market longer, you have less competition. You may be able to get a better price on a house. So if you're thinking about it, you're on the fence, I would jump in now, and you may be able to get a much better deal than you will, 2-3 months from now or 6 months from now. So we'll see about that. So hope this answers any questions for you. I hope you guys are having a great summer. I'm heading to Alaska next week, so that's going to be great. I'm really excited about that. So y'all have a good time. Let me know how I can help. I want to be your real estate resource.